An entire folder full of Nintendo Direct information is leaked, and also a big Smash survey. Block content. What's happening, my Block buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content's Leak Speak. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. Yes, we're talking about all the things leaked Nintendo Direct folder with names and everything for all the games, so there might be potential spoilers in this video. I mean, there's no reason to believe that this is real just yet. There's no reason to believe that this is fake just yet. It hasn't been disproven, and there's a lot of information here that could actually be real. It's at least very interesting to talk about because it actually sparks the imagination quite a bit with a few sequels to games and a few expected games in there too. And we're also going to be talking about an article that talks about the most popular fighter and a couple of other fighters for the Fighters Pass number 2, thanks to a huge new survey that has been done. And that leaked Nintendo Direct folder is super crazy. There's lots of interesting news there, and of course spoilers potentially ahead for everyone watching for that Nintendo Direct folder. So thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, I've been answering many of you guys' questions about Smash Ultimate and new fighters in our show Question Blocked, where I answer your questions. What do I think of your favorite game? How do you start making content on YouTube? Well, whatever you can think of, send your question through to blockedcontentmail@gmail.com, and I will answer your question live in our show on the next Question Blocked episode. And here's a brand new giveaway. You can win one of these Super Mario surprise capsules. Any Mario item, character, Yoshi could be inside. I leave them closed so you can find out what's inside when you win. I'm giving away 4 of these, so remember to like this video, subscribe to Blocked Content right now, and comment down below to enter for that giveaway. Alright guys, let's get into the main topic of today, and I really wanted to talk about this folder first. I'll leave the survey for a little bit later in the video. So as you guys can see, it's really crazy amazing. This was just dropped. A lot of people are really talking about this, and of course check the dates on that as well. It is brand new, and it's talking about all the games and all the content that could be releasing, and I'll quickly go through them and then talk about them in detail, right? So first off, we have Animal Crossing New Horizons DLC. So yes, already DLC for that game. Then a game called Bang Dream Ultimate Band Clash. Onto the main presentation, then Nintendo Switch Online, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, then a Nintendo Switch Pure White hardware, so a brand new version, then Panzer Dragoon Remake, which we've seen a little bit about, then Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team, Pokken Tag Tournament, Puyo Chronicles, Sonic Generations Plus, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Challenger Pack number 2, and Challenger Fighter number, I believe it would be 6, right? Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's Spring Update, and The Legend of Zelda Rebellion of the Wild. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and Xenoblade Chronicles Special Hardware, and then ends up with a work in progress document that is very similar to something that we've already seen before as well, and I'll detail that too. So again, it's extremely interesting to have all these games listed here. There's a lot of stuff here that surprises me quite a bit. There's a lot of stuff here that is no surprise at all. But yeah, it has to be said, there's no way to find out right now if this is real or if this is fake. Of course, with the first few announcements of the new Nintendo Direct that has not yet been slated, we will know if this is real or not. But yes, a leak like this has happened before, and it was completely real, and it ended up being the exact folder just like this. Of course, that could have been a really easy way for someone to make a fake leak look exactly like that one. So even the naming conventions and even that little Excel sheet at the bottom is exactly like what that leak was like, and that was even screenshotted on like a monitor and a blurry screenshot, and everyone thought it was fake, and it was very boring, and I'll detail that too. So new Animal Crossing New Horizons downloadable content, to me, is already really interesting. I mean, talk about downloadable content when a game has not yet been released, right? A lot of people are eagerly awaiting Animal Crossing, and the idea that the game will live on, even later than its launch is very interesting. So I think that that is a very new Nintendo choice to make, so if that happens, I'll be very happy. Then Bang Dream Ultimate Band Clash. This sounds like a game that could have potentially been on a 3DS or, be some kind of franchise that is now getting a Switch game, but all my research has turned up pretty much nothing, and it does seem a little bit like an Elite Beat Agents kind of game. I really hope that it will have that kind of style. If it exists at all, maybe this could have been a made-up thing, but there's nothing really to find here. But yes, more band games make me very happy. I was very much into all the Guitar Heroes and Band Hero games, so if we have more in that, or even if we have more in the style of a Elite Beat Agents or Osaku, I think that would be really amazing. So the main presentation, which of course always includes all the little videos and all the little things about the presenter talking about things. The past couple of Nintendo Directs haven't, of course, started with, a host talking. I think we did something like that for the E3 one, but yeah, generally there are these presentations with just a voiceover now. Nintendo Switch Online Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance to me is super interesting because there's a lot of Game Boy Advance games that I have super fond memories of. I probably have it somewhere in my house, but I just can't find it. It's just, the time that it takes to uncover these things. It'd be much easier to have it digitally on your Switch for free, and it would be really awesome if Game Boy Advance games were there, like Metroid Fusion or the Mario Advance series or the kart games and stuff like that. There's a lot of gems on the Game Boy Advance, and I hope that they definitely update that, especially Game Boy Color, which is a handheld that I was raised on. It's a thing that I totally loved and had so many great games. I remember playing the Zelda games, like the Oracle of Ages and the Oracle of Seasons, and also Super Mario Land. I remember playing the original on that Game Boy, the big, brick Game Boy. So having all those games in there, I think, is a shoo-in. Definitely the big sell ones, right? Kid Icarus and maybe Metroid games. So Nintendo Switch Pure White hardware. I think a pure white Nintendo Switch would be something that I would actually be considering to buy. I love the way that my Switch looks. I have the very traditional red and blue Switch Joy-Con version, so the black, console. It looks great. I love it, but yeah, a white version would fit a little bit more with the aesthetic of what I like in terms of interior decorating. So that would be really cool if they actually release that. I will be in line. Panzer Dragoon Remake, probably just a trailer, a little bit more information, and a little bit more in-game footage. Now, we've seen a little bit already, and I think that, it looked a little bit rocky, but it did, kind of spark the imagination for what the game could be. And if it's a remake, then it'll probably improve on a lot of things, and I want to know what they are. Now, Pikmin 3 Deluxe is interesting to me because, yeah, Shigeru Miyamoto has been quoted saying he's been working on Pikmin 4. So why is Pikmin 3, that was a Wii U pretty much launch game, why is that coming to Nintendo Switch now so late? And a deluxe version, what would it even add? The DLC from the first game and a little bit more? I don't know. This is not something that I'd be super excited about. I liked Pikmin 3, didn't love it, but I think that if we are to continue the franchise, we don't do it with a deluxe version. Just do Pikmin 4, man. Just work on it. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, we've seen a little bit about this. I like the art style, but I do think that it's a little bit of a lazy kind of, situation there where I think that, especially with the way the Pokemon franchise has been evolving, it needs to do bigger, more dramatic, more crazy things with that franchise. And there's nothing to convince me different of that. I feel like the Pokemon games are fun and cool, but everything else is evolving in huge ways. Look at Mario, look at Legend of Zelda, look at other game franchises like Halo, like the Uncharted series, like all the stuff on the Sony consoles, like The Last of Us. I mean, everything is evolving in such a big, huge way. Even the Nintendo games themselves under the same roof and the Pokemon games are still stagnating. So Mystery Dungeon looks cute, looks cool. I like the new art style, and I like the way that the character models are a little bit more emotive now. There's been fans that actually have been making animations for these characters that look a little bit better than the official Nintendo ones. So yeah, I need to be on the lookout for this, but right now it isn't gripping me as much as it should. Pokken Tag Tournament, however, is something that I'd be very, very excited about because Pokken was a really interesting, fun game with great graphics and a really cool system of fighting, and actually has a tournament scene, which is insane for a game like that. That's pretty much a one-off. So having a tag tournament style of this game that's even more Tekken inspired and even, more on the tag part of the game, I think would be extremely amazing. I think Pokken is a really great franchise to expand with more playable characters. I mean, it could never have the roster that Smash has at this point, but it could definitely add some mons that people are very excited about to see from all different generations. Yes, of course, a lot of people listening and myself, we're Gen 1ers, we grew up on Pokemon, so we love the original one, so I'd love to see Meowth and characters like that, but of course there's a lot of great designs and a lot of great characters later on, especially some of the legendaries I totally love. So Puyo Chronicles is interesting because there is actually a game for the 3DS called Puyo Chronicle, which was the first game that had 3D models for some of the characters. Now, having a game that's called Chronicles might be a sequel, as you know, the movies like Alien and then the sequel was Aliens, or this could just be a port of that specific game for the Switch. I don't know what they're doing with this. I'm very interested to find out because Puyo is a game that I have on Switch and I totally love it. You know, the Tetris mashup, it's great. Sonic Generations Plus, this is by far one of the most exciting things here for me because I think Sonic Generations, you know, bar maybe Sonic Mania, is one of the best things that the Sonic team has been doing in the past couple of years. It's definitely a really well-polished Sonic game. It works very well, and I think that the throwback element of Sonic just is a general nice fit for the franchise. Yes, I want them to expand and go into new worlds, and you know, Sonic Forces really didn't do it for people, and I think that if you want to like expand the Sonic universe, take a little note from that movie that just came out that everyone loves, you know, maybe do a Sonic movie game. But Sonic Generations Plus seems like a really good bet as well. You know, add more worlds from different Sonic games, you know, maybe add another level from every generation. So another level from Adventure 1, Adventure 2, another level from the original Sonic, maybe some Sonic 3, Sonic 2, that kind of stuff. I really think that it would be amazing. And maybe even add some stuff from Forces and, you know, make it better. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's Challenger Pack. So we will finally find out who that character is. And I have an idea of who that character is, and I want to talk about that tomorrow because there have been leaks coming out that have been pointing to a very specific character that none of you guys are really expecting to be the next fighter. So I'm really curious about this one. It doesn't say any more information. I really wish that he would like fold it out, this folder a little bit more so I could have seen what the name is of that character. Right now, we don't know. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's spring update would probably come with some spirits, some music, and maybe even a game mode. Yes, Sakurai has famously said it's pretty much the last game mode to be added. Yes, home run contest, but yes, pretty much makes us think that there is some wiggle room there. And of course, everyone is prying for a little bit of target smash. That would be incredible. And then the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel would be supposedly called Rebellion of the Wild, which I think is a great title and even makes it think like this is a huge new world. This is a huge new dimension to Hyrule that we don't see in the original game, and maybe it even has some sort of war mechanic to it, right? I mean, maybe even with the champions teaming up with Link, maybe it'll be this whole big war thing. I think that that would be very like Lord of the Rings inspired, and I would love to see that in. Wouldn't we love to see that? We would love to see that. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Yes, a little bit more information about this one. The remake looks really good. I'm very excited to see how that game progresses. I think that I'll definitely play this one because, yeah, the original is awesome. I think that it does a lot for RPGs and the lore and the story, and especially like the English voice acting I love. But yeah, having it in this new coat of paint will definitely do wonders for the original Xenoblade. Xenoblade Chronicles Special Hardware. So yes, another Switch version with some cool designs for Xenoblade Chronicles. I think that, yeah, if this is a fake leak, they did a really good job at choosing things that seem very plausible and, you know, seem very Nintendo. If this ends up being real, I'd be super happy because there's things in here like Sonic Generations, new Smash characters and an update, and even some strange stuff like Bang Dream Ultimate Band Clash. I mean, I just want to find out what all this stuff is, and top of the list here is Rebellion of the Wild. I mean, that just sounds like a crazy title, and it makes sense to go on with that Breath of the Wild naming convention to kind of show people this is a direct sequel. So that's not something that I'm at all against. Now, really quickly, I wanted to talk about some survey stuff because from Inverse.com, Smash Bros. Fans might never get the one DLC fighter that they want the most. Yes, a new survey reveals that one contender that gamers want in Fighters Pass 2 more than any other. It's too bad that it almost definitely won't happen, and this is all written by Denny Pays, saying Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's Fighter Pass 2 will add another 6 new characters to the game's already expansive roster. The addition of Banjo-Kazooie was a huge hit amongst fans who've been begging for the iconic duo to be added to the fighting game. Now, a new Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC poll with more than 3,000 participants revealed who gamers want to see more than anyone else. It's just too bad that Disney won't let it happen. Yes, who could this be? Japanese publication Inside Games published the results of a new fan survey Sunday based on 3,000 votes to find out the one character that fans want, and the result overwhelmingly indicated that the players really want Sora. The Kingdom Hearts protagonist racked up 290 votes in total, so about 10% of everyone who participated want to see the Keyblade swinging hero alongside the likes of Mario and Samus. Every other character that was named in the poll garnered substantially fewer votes than Sora. Even icons like Dragon Ball Z's Goku and Crash Bandicoot didn't stand a chance. Here are the results for the top 10 characters included in the survey. Sora from Kingdom Hearts getting 290 votes, Dante from Devil May Cry getting 91 votes, Hunter from the Monster Hunter series gets 80 votes, Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 gets 74 votes, 2B from Nier Automata gets 70 votes, Crash from Crash Bandicoot gets 65 votes, Waddle Dee or Bandana Waddle Dee from the Kirby series gets 64 votes, which I think is very funny, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII gets 59 votes, Arl from Puyo Puyo gets 56 votes, and Steve from Minecraft gets 55 votes. It's no surprise to see Sora top this list. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate fans have been rumored that he'd eventually make it into the platform fighter since last year, but some recent chatter has suggested that the Kingdom Hearts hero might actually never make it to the Smash Bros. Ultimate cast. Disney, which owns the rights to Kingdom Hearts, reportedly turned down Nintendo's offer to let Sora join the roster, according to Imran Khan. The former senior editor at Game Informer and co-host of the Kind of Funny Games cast claimed to have insider knowledge of a conversation that allegedly went on between Nintendo and Disney Japan. Khan didn't elaborate on how he came across this information, but he has a history of being plugged into inner circles at Nintendo and other game companies. He's been the source of past Nintendo Switch title rumors and chatter about potential Marvel's Spider-Man PlayStation sequel. But this doesn't necessarily mean Sora is totally out of the running. There have been murmurs about Nintendo attempting to add Banjo-Kazooie to the Smash Bros. Franchise as far back as the early 2000s during Melee's heyday. That suggests the company does listen to fans sometimes and is persistent with the characters that it wants in Smash Bros. However, game director Masahiro Sakurai did confirm that the Fighters Pass 2 lineup had already been decided, so a last-minute change-up seems like a slim possibility. Sakurai also revealed in an interview with Japanese games magazine Famitsu that he doesn't always have full creative control over which DLC character gets added to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That suggests some of the Fighters Pass 2 cast additions could ignore roster diversity in favor of corporate synergy and cross-promotion of Nintendo's biggest franchises. It's far more likely that we'll see the addition of another Pokémon to complement the recent release of Sword and Shield or its DLC, or another Animal Crossing representative to coincide with the upcoming launch of New Horizons. Could Nintendo still surprise fans with Sora at some point in the future? Maybe. All 6 Fighters Pass 2 characters will be released by December 31, 2021 at the latest, so expect almost 2 years full of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate content. And does that not make us giddy with excitement about what's to come with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? So I'm really excited what you guys think of this news, especially like the survey, and of course this strange Nintendo Direct leak with all those games. If you comment down below, that could actually be featured and read out loud in our next video. And today's comment question is, do you think that folder leak is legit? So let me know. As for our previous comment question winner, our answer comes to us from our celebrated user named Mr. Bear Films. This is talking about some code names that supposedly leaked yesterday about some Super Smash Bros. Fighters. For Sage, I feel like it could be a Sega character. If you think about it, just switch the A and the E and you got yourself Sega. But honestly though, having another Sega character would be quite interesting. I feel like having Tails as a character would be interesting since it only makes sense for Sonic to have his best friend in the biggest crossover game, and just imagine how the Spirit Board and stage would have to be. I feel like for the soundtrack it could have a lot of Sonic 2 OST, it may be throwing some remixes from Tails' Adventure. Yes, he does have his very own game for the Sega Game Gear. Plus, I feel he's more wanted as an original character rather than an Echo Fighter, which is quite interesting on how they also feel about Shadow as just wanting him as an Echo Fighter. Mr. Bear Films, thank you so much. And of course, yeah, I made a whole video about Sonic characters in Smash Bros. Ultimate. You can watch that too. And it talks about, characters like Dr. Robotnik or Eggman, Shadow, Knuckles, and Tails. And I do think that Tails, out of all those characters, would have a really interesting, fun moveset with all these different trinkets and machinery and all these inventions that Tails has. But also just a general fun Sonic moveset, right? The spin dash should be in there, the propeller tail, and maybe even moves from Sonic Battle. I really think that it's be a very great idea, and to have content from Tails Adventure, a Sega Game Gear game that isn't, crazy good, but it would really hint to Tails' adventures in the past. I would love to see that. Wouldn't you love to see that, Mr. Bear Films? I would love to see that. So yes, thank you guys so much for sending in your comments. These are always so much fun to read through. And of course, a big shout out to our latest Patreon supporters and the super chats that you guys sent during our live streams. You make block content possible. So if you want to have yourself created in blocked content style, or join me for a live discussion, or even have your own ideas become animations, go to patreon.com/blockedcontent. There's a bunch of incredible rewards there, and they're waiting just for you. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Blocked Content family yet, hit subscribe now, smash that like button, and ring the bell for notifications, and all the news and fun that you care about will be delivered on the daily to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner where there's always more Blocked Content. See ya!